Is it doing it? Oh, it's doing it! What's up, everyone? I'm here with Haseeb, who's one of my lifelong friends. I'm really glad to be around him. I've missed him a lot. So.
What's up, YouTube?
And he's the one who wanted to record this video. I apologize for the jittering. You know, I'm walking. I gotta learn how to use this new phone more. So, we are in Wheeling, West Virginia, and we just went to, we were gonna get these like crab cake sandwiches, right? And it was like a 20-minute walk. Yeah?
Yeah, about from 20 minutes from the house.
But that place was closed. So we went to a bar and then got fish sandwich. Well, I did. Haseeb got shrimp, right?
Yeah, I got shrimp.
Haseeb's vegetarian or pescatarian.
Pescatarian.
It's funny because Kelly is his girlfriend, and Kelly always says that they're vegetarian, which is funny because they're not vegetarian, they're pescatarian because they eat fish. But sorry. So how do you feel about West Virginia? Because now, last time I visited Haseeb, he had just moved here, right? Whereas now, he's been here for how long?
About 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years!
2 years.
That's a long time!
It's a long time being away from home.
Yeah!
And seeing this guy every day. It's a long time.
So, how do you feel about West Virginia now?
Well, the cool thing about West Virginia is, honestly, none of it really matters unless you like history. Because, like, here we go right here. Let's take a look at this building. This Christian church building. This is like a post office thing or something that was around in the early 1800s. You can fact check that or look it up. That's probably all wrong, but I don't exactly remember what this is. I just know it's been around for a long time, and you can see all these like cool looking columns and this old school feeling, and that little gateway up like all the way at the top, way up top there, where you can see like where people would be like just hanging out or whatever. Like the old kind of school feel of homes or whatnot.
It's like Roman or colonial now.
Yeah,
colonial.
If we feel like you look at that. You
It's
just take a shot of that right there. Look at nothing else. And I'm like, oh, it's just some building in Italy. But no, we're in like Wheeling, West Virginia right now. What the fuck? That's pretty crazy, right?
There's a lot of. Was Wheeling do you know anything about the Civil War here?
So Wheeling is the original capital of West Virginia. Cool thing about Wheeling was...
what's the capital now?
The capital now is Charleston, which is about 3 hours away, 3 hours south of here, in the middle of West Virginia. So we're like right at the tippy top, right next to Ohio. The cool thing about Wheeling is that this is where delegates of West Virginia met to make the final decision to join the Union and secede from the South.
So it has
become America in a
Civil
sense.
War things.
Super Civil Warsy town. Bunch of random stuff that Kelly could tell you about, but
Oh yeah.
I'm just kind of
Kelly hasn't been on video yet.
Kind of trying to remember what's going on, but yeah. Anyways.
But what about your personal experience? Because you just went on about the history of West Virginia, if you like history.
Right.
But what about you personally? Because at first you didn't know anybody, but now you know people. Or at least you have friends and stuff, so it's different, right?
Well, I mean, the thing you realize about being somewhere completely new, if you're a type of person that makes friends and makes strong connections just through first interactions, that's essentially what a lot of small towns are. It's the more you walk around and the more you just put yourself out there to say hello, how are you doing? In a place like this where there aren't many people to begin with, people reciprocate that feeling. Like, they tell you about, who they are on top of ask you questions and like keep a conversation rolling, which is a really tough thing that, people have.
Yeah.
At times dealing with.
Yeah, Wheeling, West Virginia is not a huge town. Or at least it's not like DC or anything.
No. I mean, we can even look around real quick. We've been walking for a solid 10 minutes or whatever. There's nobody outside right now.
Well, it's also really cold, and it was really nice
It's
yesterday.
not that cold.
I mean, we're both in coats. We were in t-shirts yesterday. That's
Yeah.
one thing that's weird. In Nicaragua, the temperature does not change this quickly.
No.
I understand why people bitch about Virginia weather going really up and down now, because in Nicaragua it's pretty stable. I could predict if it was going to be hot or
like,
cold.
Part of me is still protesting because, like, I'm still wearing just a t-shirt under a full winter jacket right now.
I have like a full-blown cold. No interest in that. No interest. Is this the same way we walked there?
No, this is different.
I don't think so.
This is cutting through more of like the more active part of town.
Oh, that's where the really bad coffee shop is, isn't it?
There's a really bad coffee. There's a coffee shop. Anyway, so here we are walking right now, and we got Northern coming up right here, local community college, kind of like Nova for all the Nova kids. Well, it is Nova, but significantly smaller. That's the whole school right there. It's so tiny.
Wait, which building?
This one right here, Student Union building.
You gotta look at the camera and see where you're pointing at, because it doesn't make sense to other people. That big one?
No, not the little one. The little one. Little one.
That one?
You see it?
The white one?
Right there, the white one.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's
Doesn't look
tiny.
like a college. Looks like an office.
Yeah. Something super tiny.
There's less cars here, that's good.
There's less cars. there's absolutely pretty much nobody out here. 3 or 4 cars roll by.
So yeah, look. The thing Haseeb was talking about, there's a little sign that the campus is tobacco free. And then I guess that is the campus, that building right there. It looks like it could be a Panera. Do you think it could be a Panera?
Around here?
No, I mean, like, it looks like the Student Union Northern campus building could be a Panera. There's a Starbucks.
It's about the size of a Panera.
It's what it looks like. So how long do you think it took you to get used to living in a new area after you moved?
Well, I spent a lot of the time hiding in my house. Cool thing about West Virginia, for all the Virginia friends and non-2 a.m.ers states, is that West Virginia sells alcohol up until 2 in the morning.
Ah!
So if you're bored at 1 o'clock in the morning but you only have $2 in your pocket, you can still go to a store and get a beer. And, just kill an hour or whatever and go to sleep.
A lot of places in the States, you can't buy alcohol after like 12. Which I guess is actually, there's usually some kind of limitation on the hours that you can buy alcohol. I often wonder how effective that actually is. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It was interesting in Nicaragua. You can't purchase alcohol when it's time to vote. Which was I'd never heard of that before. So I was like, oh,
It's pretty crazy.
it's kind of interesting, isn't it? You can consume alcohol, but the thing is, it's not legal for the stores to sell it. So if you go into any of the stores, then they have this like black tarp over their whole alcohol section.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I was surprised. I'd never had that kind of experience before, so it was cool to see that.
The only one I could say would relate to that was overseas in Pakistan. So alcohol, much like most Islamic countries, is sin and prohibited, and punishable by, whatever length that the government decides to do, depending where you are.
Yeah.
So in Pakistan
Harshness.
specifically, and I apologize in advance for busting any booze dealers in the Indo-Pak area, but if you wanted booze, typically it'd be like, you go to someone's house where you hear, that they might brew some beer or whatever.
They might
You
have
go
something in their
inside.
closet.
They go inside, the guy's really shady, and he opens up his closet, just has a solid brew rig, a couple of 6-packs or whatnot. You pay them whatever X amount of rupees you need to. You take your 6-pack or whatever, conspicuously put it in a backpack. You don't want to just walk around with a 6-pack in your hand.
Yeah.
Go back to your house and drink it.
That was an experience. Okay, when I was in Saudi Arabia, I lived in Saudi Arabia for like 3 years, but I was gone in the summer. And I was like 8 or 9. I was young, right? but even I was aware of the fact that you could get alcohol. So despite the fact that it was like prohibited, and intensely punished, like very much like prohibition was a thing. You could go to certain restaurants and order tea in a certain way, and you'd get served like beer in a tea mug. So it's very much like, just because it's illegal and intensely punished doesn't mean that people don't do it. But the sketchiness factor is a result of the illegality of that kind of thing.
Right. It's crazy, you don't even think about that here in the States or anywhere else really in the West world. But
yeah, prohibition in the States was like a thing that happened in like, when did they tried to do prohibition at some point here?
Early 1900s. We're not.
It was like in the we're Haseeb and I are not historical people. Like we're not very good at it. Did you ever?
For history segments, Kelly needs to be.
Yeah.
Is what I'm realizing.
Yeah, that would definitely. Oh, I'll do a video with Kelly. Kelly is Haseeb's girlfriend, and that's why you moved here, because Kelly was going to school here, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of weird how you grow up 20 plus years or whatever, right, in a particular spot for a very long time. You make a very particular group of friends that change your life forever and that are, you know, in a sense, who you are. Like, all of that, despite all of that, the second you fall in love with somebody, and it's a very genuine connection, and it progresses your life in a way really that it won't progress unless you follow this type of energy.
Love changes things.
You leave, you know, like, you're in Wheeling, West Virginia, 5 hours away from where you grew up.
Haseeb is referencing that he grew up in one location for most of his life and then moved to another town where he didn't know anybody because his girlfriend was there as well. And it's funny because some people I know would say that's a bad idea, but like it really depends on the relationship, because sometimes that can be like, especially if your life isn't so great, anytime change comes into it, it's usually pretty good.
Yeah. The fact that you even think about it probably means it's a good thing.
Can we cross?
Yeah. I'd agree.
Oh, my hand's getting so tired. I miss the wide angle lens so much. I've been bitching to Haseeb about it. It's so sad. There was a phone in Nicaragua that I found that had so like right now if I was holding the phone like this, it would be like I was holding the phone like this. And like, it's hard to keep my arm stretched out the whole time, and it makes it more prone to shaking, like every time I take a footstep. Whereas if it's like this, then I'm able to hold the phone more stably. But right now it's really cold.
It does look pretty ridiculous walking. I can see from a random's point of view that
like a stranger's point of view?
If they were watching us for a while, they'd probably be thinking, those guys really want the perfect selfie shot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're trying their fucking best to get it because they're walking around like trying to find this angle.
Yeah.
That they're probably never going to find because they've been at it for a while.
Yeah, I've learned that a lot of time people don't realize straight away that you're recording yourself, like, and you're looking at the phone. They think that if you're holding the phone up like this, you're recording out the other camera. So they're more wary of where that is, and they don't think of that the camera is actually the inverse of where they think it is. So it's funny because sometimes they'll try and get out of the photo or out of the video, and they actually go into the video. But in general, I've never figured out how to feel about that, because a lot about video recording is really about just like making it feel comfortable and capturing a moment, right?
Right.
But some people don't want to be on video, and invariably by doing a public video, you put people on video, you know what I mean? And that's definitely not a thing you're supposed to do. But like, as our generation develops and progresses, like, having a digital presence, I think, is going to be more and more and more inevitable. It just is the direction that everything is going towards. Especially because you can earn money and live in the middle of nowhere, but you use the internet and a digital presence to earn that money. And that's how I was able to exist in Nicaragua and earn like US money, but have to pay like a fraction of the cost of living that most people have to pay.
Which just brings us to Wheeling.
Yeah, Wheeling is kind of like...
It costs nothing to live out here. I work at Starbucks. I live off a relatively minimum wage salary and live a pretty fucking comfortable life out here, which is incredible. In America, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, the US
you're
is...
supposed to cry and like just be sad for the rest of your life, and that's the American dream. It's the normal thing that happens. But no, it doesn't have to happen if you're in the right spot.
You can live in a cheap place.
Yeah.
The thing is that, you know, living in an area that has a lower cost of living is normally also harder to find work, obviously, and the work pays less, right? But what you find is that most people, like, they've been taught to exist in a world that existed like 50 years ago. And there's so many different ways to like use the internet to pretty much do whatever you love and be paid for it. Yeah. And it's like literally anybody could do that as long as they are passionate about something. There's a way to earn money off of that passion through the internet nowadays. I don't know how much longer that's going to be true, but I think one of the reasons that is so true right now is because we are really new into this internet thing. Yeah. Like, it's pretty much our generation, maybe like a generation earlier, is the first generation that experienced like growing up in technology. And prior to that, like now we could communicate with someone in Japan in like 2 seconds. Yeah. We can message them. We can learn things. There's so much information online that before you had to get like a fancy acceptance into some fancy college.
It's not even just that. If you play a game with someone regularly that lives in Japan that you've never seen, if that's what you spend most of your time doing, essentially that's the person you're spending most of your time with. Mm-hmm. So you've just made a friend.
Yeah, on the other side of the world.
That is significantly would take a ways of planning to get to.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. That really is.
Yeah, I think, honestly, I'm really glad, like, sometimes friends of mine say, like, oh, I'd like to be around in the 1700s, and, like, things were simpler back then. I'm really happy to be alive in this time period.
It's like if your father or someone of significant importance, any, like, parent or sibling or even really good friend is like, I'm going on this trip that is this far away, which is probably about a 4 or 5 months ride on a horse, or even like a year-long walk. Chances are you probably will never ever see this person again. Despite where their life takes them, or if they just fucking died along the way. So yeah, wanting to grow up in the 1700s sounds cool because of Skyrim. but it's the reality
not really.
Is that's not what it was like.
Yeah, you'd probably die.
Yeah.
Alright, my hand is getting way too cold. I think I gotta end the video.
Well, see you guys.
Thanks
for chilling.
I think this is my first like in-person video in the States.
Cool.
I did a video about dropshipping stuff, but see you guys.
Bye.
Do you guys want to see anything in West Virginia? Well, in Wheeling? I don't. Maybe they want to see something in Wheeling. I don't know.
Wheeling, West Virginia. There's a lot of cool stuff around here.
I feel like it's less interesting than Nicaragua, but maybe that's not true to Nicaraguans.
Poor towns being like your tumbleweed and like completely pointless things, like just like take a look around. It's just another fucking suburb with buildings. Give us a sec, we can get into some trees. You're in America. It's the
Have
same
you ever
place.
seen any tumbleweed here?
I haven't, but
damn.
We can make that happen.
I've never seen tumbleweed in my life. That's a bucket list thing.
Me too. Let's do it.
All right, man. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.